Hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of CampusCare EdTalk. EdTalk is a platform where educators and leaders come on board and express their viewpoints related to education and society. Our topic for the discussion is creative assessment strategies. And to express the viewpoints on the same, we have Dr. Shyamali Chatterjee, the principal of Shri Gujarati Samaj Ajmera Mukesh Nemichandbhai English Medium School Indore, which is in Madhya Pradesh. Before moving forward, let me introduce you to what Entab actually is. It is a 22-year young IT company associated with premium schools of India that help them to evaluate and revolutionize the way of studying. We are the number one provider of high quality, futuristic ERPs, CRMs, and mobile apps for students, schools, and teachers. A very warm welcome, ma'am. So, good to
Thank
have you
you.
here. Thank you so much for taking your precious time with us. Let's
Thank you
start.
very much.
Yeah, thank you so much,
Yeah.
ma'am. Let's start the session. We have few questions, so let me start. The first question we have is, what are the 5 ways to formatting assessment in virtual classrooms?
When you talk about the formative assessment, the purpose of the formative assessment to understand the learning outcome of a child. So this formative assessment is very effective when we are talking about the online platform. Because understanding in the physical presence of the students, the scenario is different. When we are talking on online, the scenario is different. The main purpose of this assessment is to understand whether the students they have understood the key concept, what the teacher is going to impart in the classroom and with the children for their learning. To understand this, that we have taken few, these days in online, that emojis that is very popular nowadays, and that the Google form that is also equally
Yes.
very effective to understand the learning part of the students.
Right.
Taking interview and having interview with the students for interaction to understand whether the children they have understood or not. So looking to all this, the purpose is to overall the teaching learning to be accomplished in a right purpose with a right attitude. So first to understand that whether the children they have come up with their learning concept or not, usually that first we flow the topic amongst them and we try to determine the previous knowledge of the child. With that knowledge, how much they are ready to accept this topic.
Right.
So even that when we just sit in the online classes, we usually tell the students to use emojis or thumbs up, thumbs down to understand the children they have understood. Once they clear with their concept, no, they are mentally ready to accept this topic. So the teachers flow the topic amongst the children, and they have, in online that with the topic gradually they go forward, and they can, if they are understanding. So, and what I mean to say that the facial expression of the child in the classroom situation, especially in online, that is what we talk about the language of the. That is also very, very important. Teacher has to understand.
Yes, it is.
And has to assess the child to the body language. That is very, very important. So the nodding the head, even because in online, that is always when the teacher is teaching something, the students they have to be marked. Otherwise, it would be accounts. But they have a window. They can write. They can put the notes into. So the teacher will try to understand that whether the things are going in a right way or not. So then the teacher can put a quick test among the children. The quick test will immediately gear up the teacher with how much understanding the child has entered.
Right.
And then the process starts. They can teacher can give the topic for the research also as a project also, and that is very important. That is these days. That is the portfolio assessment. That is also very important for online formative assessment. Like suppose if the teacher is talking about the food chain or the food habit, say a very simple thing, the food habit. So that child can be asked to relate that food habit and the food environment at home. That is what the portfolio assessment. So gradually the child will relate the tradition that what he has in the home, the food tradition. And when the child will come up with all these activities, then we can give this assignment amongst the peer also. The two children, they can make the pair as well the peer group. And ultimately, through the different group activity and some assignment, we can come to know that whether the child has learned fully or not. So these are all the ways to understand.
Yeah, I really loved your first way because it says that use of technology and emojis is very important. So yeah, I think that technology is something that we all are surrounded by. So yeah, it was very fruitful. Okay,
No, no,
so
there are even online polls are there, virtual and exit tickets are there. We can use all these things, no?
yes, yes, we should utilize technology with us. Okay,
Yes.
let's move on to next question. The question is students' assessment in online learning. Is it a challenge or an effective practice?
It's effective practice. There are some challenges also. In online assessment, there are challenges because sometimes it happens, students they take the help and they very easily, it is a very easy sort of assessment also.
Yes, it
The
is.
students can gather help immediately. And when it comes to the classroom situation, the child has to prepare fully. So there
Absolutely.
are challenges, but now the situations have come down. So online is must because we have to go with the technology for our future also. And these days that we have to come up with a hybrid. What I believe that would be the most effective assessment for the students once we come up with the hybrid mode.
Yes,
When we are talking about the summative assessment, we can go to the offline and formative assessments can be done online. It's very effective. Especially what I think, though, the special children, they are very, for the special children, it is very effective online assessment. Because there are children, they are unable to. There are children, they cannot that focused when they are in the group. Sometimes they give better result when they are online.
yeah, absolutely. It is like we have advantages and disadvantages of each and everything. So yeah, it is very important to use technology, and it was very fruitful for students to have education in online scenarios in this post-pandemic situation.
Especially post-pandemic, yes.
Yeah,
And for the students, when yes, yes, like online and what we are talking about the social connection, that lacks sometimes, like the physical activities that is better if it is in offline. But certain goods are there, and definitely the technology we have to accept, and it is coming up very nicely. So we should use online as well as offline. Hybrid mode, I prefer.
Okay, as we are talking about post-pandemic situation, our next question is related to that only. The question is how to effectively assess online learning in post-pandemic world.
But see that I'm little bit differing with post pandemic. That is the situation. That's it. Pandemic is not going to affect the online or the learning outcome because that is the pandemic. It is gradually getting over
Yes.
now, isn't it?
Yes.
So when we are talking about post pandemic, the students they have the challenges, some challenges, like they were very easy when they were on online mode because they were quite relaxed. Their timetable, the routine, that was somewhere, that very for them it was very easy. Now when they are talking about the offline, again they have to come to the routine. They have to come out from home,
Right.
from their comfort zone, they are coming out, isn't it? So even what I mark, especially in my school, the children, because the last examination, the annual examination, it is offline, it is going on. The writing skills of the children, it has been affected because those who are above average children, they are somewhere, that they know the purpose of life, the purpose of their learning. But there are
Yes.
children, they need to be motivated by the teachers in the classroom situation. For them, it is really a challenge. So now they have realized and gradually they will come up. And I think the post pandemic would be the hybrid mode. We have to take help of online as well as the
Offline.
offline
Right.
situation classes.
Yes, ma'am. It was a very fruitful session. We all really enjoyed it, and I'm sure that each and every one of us got to know what the situation is, and we got a lot of insights about the topic as well. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being here. Thank you so much for giving your time. We really enjoyed this session, and for all the viewers, I request you to please subscribe to our channel to look for more stuff like this. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.